Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. And of course, if you could drop me a like on the video as well, that really helps me out. It's free to do so. Anyway, the purpose of today's video is to see how close I can get to predicting the official ICC team of the tournament before the World Cup even starts. So let me know in the comments who your pre-team of the World Cup tournament is. And at the end of the World Cup, we'll compare what my uneducated picks are compared to what the ICC choose, but I still kind of feel like I'm going to end up with a better team. To open the batting, I'm going to go for Shubman Gill. Now, it's a little bit of a boring pick, let's be honest. He's the only bloke this year to have scored 1,000 runs in this format. He's top of the run scorers, as you'd imagine, because he's the only bloke who's done it. He's averaging 70, he's striking at over 100. Surely, although it's boring, surely the bloke who is in the form of his absolute life has got to be the banker to have at the top of the order. And plus, India go on, have a good tournament, then he's going to bat all the way through, plenty of runs, top of the order, load of chances. Shubman Gill, thanks. And to open the batting with Shubman Gill, I'm going to go for Dawid Malan. It was between Pathum Nissanka, Temba Bavuma and Dawid Malan. Now, Nissanka would be the obvious choice for those that have scored the most amount of runs. Temba Bavuma, he's averaging 70 this year. He's scored a heap of runs in this format, but he doesn't go particularly well in the ICC competitions. In fact, I don't even think he's played a 50 over ICC competition match before in his career, but the T20s are my case in point for that. Dawid Malan, though, man of the moment, he's averaging 75 this year. He's just been... Well, he has just been announced as the opener for England during this tournament, now that Jason Roy has been booted out the squad for Harry Brook. So, again, plenty of opportunity for Dawid Malan. He averages heaps in this competition. He scored 300s this year. He's looked great against New Zealand. So I'm going to go Shubman Gill, Dawid Malan at the top of the order in my team of the tournament. Number 3, I'm going to go for Babar Azam. Similar to Shubman Gill, probably not the most outrageous pick of all time. He's the number 1 batter in the world, according to the ICC anyway. His weight of runs are going to be so important if Pakistan are going to progress through the group stage to the semi-finals. So, yeah, number 3, Babar Azam, probably captain as well. Number 4, now several options to choose from here, and probably a couple of blokes here that wouldn't actually bat number 4 for their national side, but clearly we know how these team of the tournaments work and we know that we can fudge a few players in. So this, in my mind, was between Virat Kohli, Joe Root, who can't score a run at the moment, Mohammad Rizwan, who is in red hot form but who really needs 2 wicket keepers. So therefore, my logic is Virat Kohli. Oh, and I don't like watching Steve Smith bat, but we've had this conversation before. Obviously, it's Kohli's big chance. It's Kohli's massive chance to be the big star of this tournament. He won the World Cup back in 2011, so 12 years ago now. He's the last remaining member of that team that played in that final back in 2011. He scored 300s this year. His average is back up. He scored that 122 not out against Pakistan in the Asia Cup. And India are going to need him. They're going to need him to lead from the front. The man with all the experience, the man that's done it before. Virat Kohli has a massive tournament. India win the World Cup hands down. Number 5, Saqib Al Hassan. Now, there's not a huge amount to choose from in the world of all-rounders in ODI cricket, particularly now that Ben Stokes can't bowl. The point is proven slightly by the fact that Chris Woakes is the 10th best ODI all-rounder according to the ICC. This year he doesn't appear in either of the top 100 batters or the top 100 bowlers when it comes to weight of runs or wickets, so that kind of proves the point. And of course I need a spinner in this team, so welcome to the side, Saqib, you're in. Number 6, I'm going to go for my wicket keeper and I'm going to go for Jos Buttler. I always think there'll be an argument to bat Jos Buttler a little bit higher in any format of cricket, but because he's taken the gloves, I'll afford him a little bit of a rest and just hide him down the order. And imagine getting through that top 5 and then seeing Jos Buttler walk out at number 6. An outrageous cricketer. He's averaging 65 this year in ODI cricket. He's the captain of England, striking at over 110 in ODI cricket this year as well. And of course, we all know what he is capable of. That 110 strike rate suddenly turns into 200. And the next thing you know, you're chasing 450. So Jos Buttler, you're in my team. Number 7. And outrageously at number 7, I am going to go for the Indian all-rounder. I'm going to go Hardik Pandya. And again, similar to Jos Buttler, it probably is a little bit low, isn't it? But again, in that same argument, imagine it. Imagine Buttler at 6 and Pandya at 7. Imagine getting through that 5 and thinking, oh, we're into the tail now, lads. And you see those 2 blokes padded up on the balcony. Outrageous. The bloke is back. He's bowling rockets. He's fit, which is so important. He allows India to balance that side a little bit more. He took 3 for 3 versus Sri Lanka in that final of the Asia Cup, but then again, I think I probably fancied a bowl against Sri Lanka that day. He scored 87 against Pakistan in that group game before it got washed out in a bit of a recovery bid after Pakistan went through India's top order. And of course, as I said, he's fully fit and the bloke's going to be an absolute handful. I can really see him having a storming World Cup and making this team. Into the bowlers, and at number 8, I'm going to go for the left arm pacer from Australia. I'm going to go for Mitch Starc. As I've said in a number of these videos over the last couple of weeks, he did lead the wickets in the 2019 World Cup, and I really think there's an argument to say that he could well do it again in 2023. He's obviously left arm. Swings the new ball, swings the old ball as well. He's Australian, so therefore he's bound to step up to these major kind of tournaments. And of course, as we saw in 2019, and as we have seen throughout his career, he has the ability to bowl a spell that has the chance to win a game by himself. Regardless of what anybody else does for Australia, this guy can rip through a batting lineup and will take a hatful of wickets, and the next thing you know, Australia have got 2 points on the board. Number 9, and I'm going to go for my second spinner, and I'm going to go for Kuldeep Yadav. Now, just don't shout at me with regards to the batting lineup because it really doesn't matter at this point. If my top 6 and top 7 haven't scored enough runs to win us a game of cricket, I don't care about 8, 9, 10, and 11. Kuldeep's having a bit of a resurgence in his career. He's the second leading wicket taker in ODI cricket this year behind, I think, Sandeep Lamichhane, has got the most number of wickets. But as I say, he's having a massive resurgence in his career. Home conditions, got the ability to turn the ball both ways against left and right-handed batters. Taking wickets for fun. This guy's going to be so difficult to play against this year. Number 10, and I'm going to go for the Pakistani seamer. I'm going to go for Shaheen Shah Afridi. Left arm again. New ball wickets. No, I don't think anybody's ever going to forget that opening spell in Dubai against India in the T20 World Cup back in 2021, are they? Maybe a little bit more pressure on Shaheen now in this World Cup. Now that we know that Naseem Shah is going to miss the tournament, those 10 overs from Shaheen are going to become so much more precious for Pakistan, so much more important. But the positive side of that when it comes to statistics is obviously the fact that he's not going to have to look to try and share those wickets around with Naseem. So, therefore, it makes logical sense to me. He has a blinder of a tournament. He leads from the front. He's experienced now. He's left arm, which is a nightmare to face. White ball, specialist. Get him in my team. He's going to be right up there. He'll be top three wicket takers in the tournament. I'm almost certain. I'm prepared to guarantee that. And finally, at number 11, we're going to go for Jasprit Bumrah. Boom, boom, Bumrah. Boom, boom, Bumrah? That doesn't sound right. Boom, 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 Bumrah. Anyway, I'm going to go for Jasprit, as I said. Now, he returned to cricket against Ireland earlier this year after a long layoff from injury. And potentially, with the form that Siraj and then Shami are in as well, with the 5 wickets that he took against Australia in that first ODI, maybe, just maybe, Bumrah's involvement in this ODI team isn't quite as important as what it might have been a couple of years ago. It might not be a case that Bumrah has to take the wickets, and those wickets might get shared about. So when it comes to pure statistics, he might not actually be that high up on the list of wicket takers this tournament. I think he probably will be, but there's a chance, obviously, with the form of Shami, Siraj, the fitness of Hardik Pandya, the spin of Kuldeep Yadav, that those wickets might be a little bit harder to come by for Bumrah. But I think he's going to have the ability to bowl those spells. He's going to have a match-winning spell in him somewhere, maybe multiple. Those must-win games. Bumrah steps up. India go through and probably go on and win the tournament. And I think there's a bit of a common theme through this team. I've got Shubman Gill, I've got Virat Kohli, I've got Hardik Pandya, I've got Kuldeep Yadav, and I've got Jasprit Bumrah in my team of the tournament. As I said before, please drop me a like on the video. It's free to do so. It really helps me out with regards to the algorithm. Comment as well what your team of the tournament is going to be, what your predictions are, and obviously I'll react to this video when I am horrendously wrong in about 7 or 8 weeks' time, when Ramanullah Gurbaz has averaged 150 and struck at 200 all tournament, and he's ended up winning the World Cup for Afghanistan. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again.